Microsoft, they have a few updates. I mean, real updates. One of the things I love doing is installing updates. Okay, that's not really what I like to do. I mean, I see it's there, and I have to go down and have to click the update button. Yes, and I would sometimes just randomly check for updates, just to check to see, hey, am I running the latest version of whatever OS I'm running? Okay, so what's happened is Microsoft has released a cumulative update for version 22H2 and 21H2. And thankfully, after a long awaited time since late December last year, things are actually sorted. Some important things. I mean, people have had problems with the likes of auto HDR and a few other wee problems, such as, let's see, what have we got here? Okay, so one of the issues that was fixed was for this snipping tool. Basically, what would happen is it would stop working with, whenever specific keyboard shortcuts were used with the narrator feature active. Yeah, who would have thunk it? That's one of these tools that I would always use. One feature that's close to my heart that they've sorted out was with USB audio devices. People were using digital audio converters or plugging in audio devices. This would maybe stop working. And thankfully now it's fixed. I whenever I'm plugging in audio devices, I plug in likes of audio. I plug in a lot of microphones and things like that, headsets. I'm getting countless errors whenever I'm plugging into the likes of a laptop. I get countless errors whenever I plug into a Windows laptop. And thankfully, if they've sorted, I'm really happy, because having problems like this is really not acceptable. I mean, I would start up my computer and I would plug in the headphones and then I'd try to use Teams and try to call a colleague. Then it doesn't work. I mean, that's no good to anybody. I would, in order for me to fix it at the particular time, I would have had to have unplugged the audio USB device and plugged it back in. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it takes a number of times. And if they've managed to sort this out, then that's fantastic. So people were having problems with USB cameras on Windows 10. So what the problem was they wouldn't recognize whenever it turned on. And both audio and video are really important when it comes to business. I mean, I would really like to be able to, not have any of these issues to worry about. If Microsoft have fixed it, I'm happy. So yes, it's nice to receive all these updates, and thankfully they've fixed issues. But unfortunately, they've sort of spoiled it for themselves again. Microsoft have basically installed an app that basically was forced upon users. And that app is Outlook. There's a new Outlook app. And if I'm searching for Outlook and I'm going to see two versions of Outlook, I mean, that's not good, because if let's say if I'm an older user and then I see two different Outlooks side by side, I mean, that's really going to confuse people, because they'll be used to this particular way of the older version working, and then they're also going to see the new version of Outlook. And yes, it's there, but it's silly. It's really a silly thing just to be able to see two versions of an app. And yes, the old Outlook app is due to be discontinued soon. I have tried the new Outlook app. Yes, the new app looks good, but unfortunately, it was lacking some of the features that I needed. I mean, I tried to open up old saved emails, and it didn't work. I wasn't able to see important emails that had previously been saved by my company. And if this is the case, and people aren't able to go back and have a look and see what their old emails about, that's not good, because all their data could be lost. It's going away, yes, but Microsoft has to make sure that before the old app goes away, they'll be able to see. People will be able to actually see what's new, and what's old. People will need to see. People will need to be familiar. Yes, majority of the things are the majority of the things look the same, but they need to be able to access their old stuff. And yeah, it's just one of these things. So in wrapping up, updates, they've been good. They've been very good. But just as long as Microsoft continues the way they are going with these particular updates, and the likes of, they have to stay consistent in what they do. I remember Windows 10, it was supposed to be the last version of Windows that I ever need. Probably they were right, because moving away from my personal life, I've moved away from Windows 10 to something else. I did like using Windows, but unfortunately it doesn't do enough for me in my personal life. But for the business life, I mean, yes, it works. Except for, I've said it before, I get the blue screen of death. That isn't fun. I'm getting too many crashes in Windows, and I'm not doing very much. I mean, I'm not overly taxing it. I mean, I'm using a web browser, and that's using Excel, I'm using Excel on the web and Outlook. And if things are crashing, that ain't good for business. But Microsoft better start sorting it out, because if this is what's going to happen for me, and I'm using Windows on a daily basis at work, things need to improve for the business. It's not good if I'm seeing crashes on simple things. Anyways, that's all from me, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the updates. Yeah. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Take it easy.